know, but I think that's what I'm trying to say now. And I just had to push back a little bit because it was very much like in line with what I had already sent them. So I was just like, I don't know, like I'm not really going to change it. So this piece, and not any other ones that we're going to see, but I've worked with mural arts a few different times. And so people really see them as folks that have put up all the murals around the city. But one thing is a lot of folks, that's kind of like all they know about. And like people like this development or people who are working in different companies, they'll reach out to mural arts because they're like, you have a wide, net of artists. Do you have anyone in mind that might be good for this particular thing? And then they'll either send out a call or they'll reach out to a specific artist directly. And that's like how this came to be. So the curator, his name's Andrea, someone had like told him about my work and he was like, I need a digital artist, and they're like, Marian does digital art, and he like reached out to me, and like that's how it happened because the this area had like reached out to mural arts and were like, we need some art, and like they had other installations up, but all of those have been taken down, and I think this one is going to be taken down soon as well, so we got it just in time. But yeah, this is the first stop. You can take a look at these two, and then we can also cross the street to see that one. Yes, I was just going to ask you.
I brought a big hat too. The sun hat. Okay. And I'm like, I have one of those foldable ones. Me too. Yep. I'm gonna dye it, but right now it's just white. No.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And so it's always like a fun, like big idea of that romantic retirement, whatever. And it's really cool in there. And they have, I think, like a few different things around the country. It is 8 feet by 8 feet on two 4 by 8, really thick as hell plywood panels. And I say this because I had about a week to get this painted because I was working in a job that required me to travel every week. And I was overwhelmed because that's hard to do in such a small amount of time. And this was the first time I had painted something so big. And so I actually called up Anita and was like, I need help getting like this plywood down into my basement, which is like my studio / laundry. And she was like, yeah, bet, like I'm available like later today. But I was like almost spiraling that I was like, I need to get this downstairs now. So I carried it downstairs myself like an idiot and was, almost crushed by plywood. But it worked out, and I didn't end up having to carry it back up because Conrad Bitter, who runs Street Step, it's like a blog, Instagram, they have a Patreon now. He's been over the years like developing his like curatorial skills, and this was one of those earlier things that he had done. And so him and a friend like came and picked everything up, and then it was installed by like professionals. But he had like reached out to me because he saw my work through the first art show that I did, which is something called Time to Pretend. And that, hello? What?
Oh yeah, that's how I found your work.
Oh, cool, yeah. So that is put on by this woman named Morgan. On Instagram, her username is Fo by Mo. She's like a phenomenal photographer. And she does like a biannual art show for all like women and like them-identifying artists. And so I did that, and that was like a really great turnout, and that was kind of when I was like, okay, I'm gonna like start actually like really pursuing this, because I wasn't sure what the response was gonna be, and people were like, no dude, like this is it, like I love what you're doing. And so he saw my work through there, and he reached out to me and he was like, have you ever painted something big? And I was like, no. The largest I've painted is like maybe like a 3x5, like 3x5 feet. He's like, you want to? And I was like, absolutely. And then in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how this is gonna go. And I got freaked out because I went to Blick and they recommended some Blick acrylic, which I do not recommend anyone ever use because it's watery as shit. And it took me like 5 layers for every single color. And so I was like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna go. And I just kept layering and layering and layering. And it finally turned out. Initially, I was not planning on doing a self-portrait because I was like, yes, I might be narcissistic, but I think that might be a little too much. But Conrad had seen an illustration that I did of myself, which is funny because I barely draw myself. I'd rather do other people. And he was like, you should do this one. I think this would be really great. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. That's fine by me. So this was pretty cool the way that this came about. A lot of the times I'm lucky enough to where people kind of just like find me, like word of mouth, they come across my work, they read an article, whatever. And so, okay, good, I'm glad I brought the mic. So I don't do a lot of just like cold calls, I guess you would say. But for this, they have done things with Weckerly's where we're going to go at the end. And they like followed me on Instagram and I followed back and like slid into their DMs and was like, I've always wanted to design like a beer can because I love beer. Like as I need like I am a beer snob at this point, I love it. And so I reached out to them and they're like, okay, yeah, random person, yeah. And then Tess, who co-owns the brewery, actually contacted me and was like, we're having a really hard time with one of our like standard beers, which is the training montage. And I guess they were running into issues because there's a lot of kind of, you know, old Philly imagery that comes up. It's like rocky, like aggressive, like all of this stuff. And so they didn't really know what direction to go in. And like I wanted to just capture like the essence of Philly and the fact that like training comes out in all different ways. So you'll see that there's like someone that is like brewing beer that's receiving training and like people that are working, thank you, on a mural that are receiving training, and there's someone that's like running up the steps. So all of that kind of captures like the different things that I like about Philly. We have some like little drummers. That little girl is not Mickey Mouse ears, it's just like big like tufts.
Yes.
Like, is that Mickey Mouse? I'm like, no, you need to know who black people. Yeah, so that's what that beer is about. I think it's really delicious, and this brewery is also just like really cool because their motto is that it's bigger than beer. So they employ a lot of people that are like getting employment after being like released from incarceration, or like people who have experienced like houselessness that are getting back into the workforce. And they just do a lot for their community, always trying to like keep it clean and like create like engaging kind of stuff to happen here. So I really just like the people that own this place too. So I'm happy that I was able to work with them. And beer is good. I hope you guys beer.
So what's your favorite type of beer?
Ooh. It depends on the season. So like right now I'm a sour gal. I'm like, give me a nice like tart sour. And then like fall winter is more of like a stout kind of thing. So like a nice like milk stout or like a oat stout. I'm all about, yeah. But I like darker beers. They're just a little too heavy to drink year round. Yeah. But as long as I can go, I'll drink those. But I'm not gonna just say no to beer in general. Yeah. Which is a very fun establishment if you guys feel like shaking your ass sometime. They have like DJs outside. I don't think they're open in the inside yet. You hate tattoos!
It's an acronym. That means I have 1,000 interesting tattoos.
That was very confusing.
That's funny. But I should get my mom that shirt because she's like very anti-tattoo. She's like, why don't you just like get it printed and then hang it in your house? And I'm like, no, why would I? You don't have it with you. Exactly. So this piece was really fun. Robbie, who is one of the co-owners of the Barbery, was looking for an artist to do a sign and some other stuff.
And one of their bartenders, who I mentioned earlier, her name's Morgan, the photographer for by Mo, yeah, she's incredible. She had mentioned that I'm an artist and maybe they consider working with me. I guess he saw my work and was like, oh, cool, yeah, definitely her. And so we chatted for a bit, and I asked him, you know, like, what are you going for? And he said he wanted a trippy desert in space.
Yes.
I was like, okay, I think I could do that. And so that's what I came up with. As you can see, we got some mushrooms, we got a weird, like, space cactus. That might be a little phallic, but it's fine. Got lots of aliens, and then I did their name, the Barbary. Gotta have my tag as well. And then that kind of theme is repeated on the digital version on their door. And then we just carried that on over into the bench as well. So this one was just kind of like fun. I did this last summer. I was on site. Lots of people, you know, coming up, chatting. What are you doing? What is that? Who are you? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just out here painting and sweating. It was great. So I really enjoyed myself. Robbie's great. The barber's fun. They've been doing a lot of like renovations inside, so I'm curious to see what the inside is gonna look like. But yeah, that's that. Come on through. You better walk.
You gotta walk.
Weckerly's is incredible. I love everybody who works here and the folks that own this place so much. And they were super great. And I reached out to them because previously done a mural, did some like illustrative work with them as well. When I first moved up here to Philly, that's when they were like first opening this location. So like December of that year, I also had a lot of people that would like visit me, so I would always bring them to Weckerly's. And I got to know Andy, who co-owns it. And then one day I was out in the Midwest and I saw some cows and I like did like a really like shitty illustration, like posted on my Instagram, because why not? And Andy like commented hearts on it, and I was like, but Andy, like we should do something like for real. And he messaged me and was like, but actually I wanted like a mural in this location, and I think you would be like a perfect fit. So we started talking about it, and they wanted me to, it's fine, you can walk through. You guys know where to be, it's fine. They wanted an illustration of their process. So I got to go to like the farms that they work with, like the creamery, got to see some like really cute cows, saw their production facility, and then I used all of that information, like pictures that I took, to like fully illustrate their process. And the cool thing about Weckerly's is that they are all about the seasons. So each thing is seasonal. They don't work with like fruits and stuff that are out of season. And then they also work within like a really like local like radius. Come on through, it's fine. So like the farms that we went to were probably, I don't know, like 45 minutes to an hour away. Cows were like so cute. It's called 7-Star Farms, and then I forget what the other one is. But they work with like really great people, and the ice cream is just good as hell. So I don't know if everyone here has had their ice cream before.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. We collaborated on a flavor called Plural Murals, and it is the last strawberry base of the year. So it's a strawberry based ice cream with a cherry swirl and banana marshmallow. So if that's something that you're interested in, awesome.